It's whoever gets in the door first.
Yeah.
Makes the better deal, and that's it.
It seems like it's 100 years ago. You know, it does.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We're talking,
30
what did we
years.
get out of that, 1987?
Yeah.
The book was written in 87?
The book was written in 90.
90?
Yeah.
I
By the
thought I read
time,
87 on the cover. I'm not sure. Well, did he have a job and shit when you last saw him?
no, they were shaking down some cab company up in the Bronx.
What part of Jersey did he live in?
Cliffside Park. He was like the mayor
That's
of
part of
Cliffside
your
Park.
county.
Yeah.
You know, it's corrupt county.
Yeah, no.
I just had that problem with the Gravano case.
Whatever happened with that?
Well, Kuklinski died. They had to drop the charges.
You
I
know,
wrote
they
that,
never
I think,
said
for
in the
6
paper.
months.
They never said in the paper how that jerk off died.
Supposedly died a long time.
Yeah.
I think they scared the crap out of him because we had discredited everything he said. HBO made him the hitman of the year.
Yeah, the Iceman.
Killed all organized crime figures. He didn't kill one organized crime figure. They were only his competition and people he was robbing money off. So there was about 8 of them. And he tacked on all kinds of stuff. And then he gives them stories about, you've seen this stuff on television, somebody shooting a guy through a peephole in the door. Where did he get that from? You got that from the movies. He was killing most of his people with cyanide.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I mean, he was no big shooter. I think he only started shooting when he got the gun off Joey Testa.
Yeah, and that's the only time I seen him around. He made
Then
it
he
like
said-
he was part of the crew.
He said he was following a guy on a motorcycle and he shot his head off with a shotgun. Now, how do you do that?
Yeah, right.
What do you hold?
You put it on automatic pilot.
Right.
Yeah.
And then with this last one with Cannibal, this thing that he was saying that Sammy paid him to do it, there was no reason for that. There was no motive. And,
Well, didn't you tell me that he didn't even know what caliber gun was used?
he didn't know what kind of shells he used, if it was a double barrel or a pump. He couldn't tell you. And the way he said he shot the guy, the trajectory of the bullets should have been down, but it wasn't. It was straight across, which indicates that somebody was driving by and shot him through the car, which were the brothers.
Yeah.
And then after this thing happened with Calibo, they kidnapped the kid, Calibo's kid from the second wife.
Oh, really?
They caught him down in Louisiana, I think, the sheriff's office down there, got him with the baby, and he took the baby back. And they went to jail. Cooperation.
That was it.
So who over there did you meet with at HBO? Do you remember? How did they get in touch with you?
They called me on the phone. I don't know where they got my phone number. Everybody always gives up your phone numbers,
Right.
And they said, come on in, we want to talk. I went there with a whole suitcase full of information, I was ready to give it to them until they told me what it was about. They told me they wanted to speak about the DeMeo. And when I go there, I find out it's this psycho confessing to the murder of Roy DeMeo, which...
Oh, yeah, that was another one. Kuklinski again.
Yeah, he said he killed Roy DeMeo. And we said, well, what do you have in the trunk of the car with him?
Yeah.
And you put him in the
The
trunk.
chandelier.
You didn't know that.
But yeah, even if he would have read the book, he would have known that.
But you never heard any more about it. But I told HBO, you're perpetrating a farce on people in New York. I said, you can't say that this guy is a member of the Mayor's crew. Or he was even associated with him. Because nobody knows this guy. There's no surveillance of him in any
No, he was there.
location.
I never seen him there.
And then he said, well, they were killing people on the second floor above the Gemini bar. That was a single-story building.
I know, but it was the apartment
And
behind.
there's the apartment next door, and it's on the first floor, not the second floor. So his information, the worst part of it, he says, Sammy gave him a cell phone to call him. This was 1980. There was no cell phones. So I don't know. Maybe Sammy invented it. But if this book comes out, his family might have a good lawsuit.
Whose family?
Gravano's.
Oh, okay.
Because he's going to portray him in a book as arranging for this homicide, which he definitely didn't do. And the other point is that he was in a cell with a guy that Sammy put in for a murder. Sammy testified against this Jersey wise guy, and they felt that if they could say that Sammy lied about the 19 homicides he did, the 20th time, he held that back, they would have grounds to get out of jail on it.
Yeah, to an appeal.
And one of the defendants already had sent that letter into the judge, that this guy's lying because of this allegation that he committed this homicide. Wasn't true.
I wonder what happened to, what do you call it? All their appeals, Henry and Joey and Anthony.
I understand they're in a band with Persico in jail.
Yeah. You believe that?
They're all in a band?
Yeah.
What Carmine the Snake?
Oh, we saw pictures of them when we were in the U.S. Attorney's office. Someone took a picture of them in jail.
Dom, do me a favor, just scoot over just a little bit. Thanks.
So they had pictures of them? Like
Yeah.
the band?
The Motley Crew. I don't know what you would call them.
Yeah, I wonder what they call themselves.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they should be all split up. I don't think they're in the same jail anymore.
No.
There was a problem with Anthony and Joey being in the same jail. So I know they split them up early on.
Well, Henry, I remember when Henry got all bent out of shape when they sent him to Texarkana. Artie and he took it out on Artie and Kenny. I can't see my kids no more, my wife, because he was in Pennsylvania. And they had him shipped down to Texarkana.
Maybe she'd be nice to murderers.
I got a little soft spot for Henry, though.
Yeah, I do. He was one of your favorite people. I never got the association, but to each his own.
Well, he kept me very well informed.
Yeah, I guess somebody had to do that. Well, you were there all the time.
Yeah.
When you shouldn't have been there.
I don't know, Nino. If Nino ever would have found out, like, that Henry and them used to come to the house, because when Nino would go to Florida, I'd have Henry, Dolores, the kids. We'd have barbecues and stuff over on Cropsey Avenue. If Nino would have ever found that out, he would have popped me.
So he didn't like any of those guys, huh?
It wasn't so much that he didn't like them. It was more so that the heat that was on them all the time.
Yeah.
Because Nino was real low key. I mean, they didn't even know his name until
Until they started with the club.
Yeah.
And he
And
said
he
the
said
club
it.
was going to be his downfall. It was.
the veterans and friends.
Now I understand there's no more left.
No.
Beth Avenue's wiped out.
Yeah.
86th Street's wiped out.
Yeah, we were down there. We drove through.
Just where you should.
Yeah, I told you when he jumped out of
Yeah,
the
right.
van and started going.
Here I am. That's not the first time he's done that. Where the hell were you that time? And when you had all the tripwires up and machine guns.
Oh, that was in Birmingham. It was a bad night.
Come and get me. I'm ready for you.
Yeah, that was my James.
Nobody ever
Cagney.
came.
No. Uh-uh.
Is that when you called and told him, here's where I am? And
I gave him the license plate number of the car I was driving. It was a yellow Volvo. I gave him the license plate. I gave him the apartment number, the address. I think what they must have thought it was probably like a setup or something like that, because at that point, I mean, they were really looking. That was before we went to trial.
Yeah. But you know what? They had access. They could have had access to that information.
Well,
Which
now.
will happen later on.
Yeah, now I know.
It's a good thing it didn't happen.